Good morning. So I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I've been getting some questions from time to time, and there's no short supply of this on the interwebs. All right. So what's your everyday carry? You do a pocket dump. However you want to progress. But I think it's a valid question, and I think with so much information out there, there's a lot of commonality, and then there's some differences. I've noticed a lot of guys that I follow through social media, through acquaintanceships and so forth. Some of them, their everyday carry is a little bit heavier than others. Some's a more minimalist approach. I mean, it's all personal preference, right? But the biggest thing I can encourage, and I believe this is the key point, is whatever it is you carry, you better know how to use it. Otherwise, I'm not trying to make light or make fun of anyone, but think about this. You put a piece of gear in your kit and you're not intimately familiar with it. During the time you need it the most is not the time to, you know, look at the package, read the instructions, the quick start guide, right? It's not that. That's not that time. You need to be intimately familiar with everything you carry. So normally at this point I would do a pocket dump, but I'm wearing training shorts. Actually, I'll share this with you because I'm wearing Born Primitive training shorts. And as training shorts go, these are some of my favorites. These are awesome, right? They do have a pocket on each side, zip shut, mesh lined, and perfect for an iPhone or cash, whatever. But they're training shorts and nice, slick, probably some of the best training shorts I've ever worn. So now, having said that, something like this, I would carry like a errand bag, I call it. Right, I'm gonna shoot on out to the store or something like that, and I'm in training clothes. I don't have pockets. I don't have cargo pockets. If I did, a little bit different story. Some of the things I have in here, I would carry in the cargo pockets. But it's an Osprey daylight bag. Osprey daylight bag. It's a sling, right? More of a satchel, if you will, and it's nice. I mean, padded on the back side. Excuse me. So essentially, this contains what I would have on myself if I were in jeans, cargo pants, cargo shorts, anything other than PT gear. All right, but let's back up a notch. The always haves, right? The always haves. Sunglasses, right? Potentially for eye protection, but over the years, I noticed my sensitivity to light has gotten more and more. So sunglasses, user preference dictates. I'm kind of fond of the wraparounds. These are gaiters, and it's my second pair. It's only my second pair because the first pair was a slightly different style. They were the Raptors, a little bit more rounded and a little bit smaller for my face. So gave them to a friend of mine, right? Didn't need a second pair because I needed a second pair. Got a second pair because I gave the first ones to a friend. Gators, probably some of the best eyewear I've ever worn. Durable and, good to go. Always have some type of folding knife, all right? Knives run the spectrum of extremely cheap. You pick them up on the counter at a local hardware store, right? All the way up to hundreds of dollars, fine craftsmanship. I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of in the middle. All right, I'm kind of in the middle. I've spent money on knives. I've lost throughout my career. I have lost more expensive knives than I could tell you. The only good news was my employer paid for those. All right, good old uncle. He paid for those. So spring assist, stiletto blades, you name it. I lost them. It never actually broke a knife, which is probably good news. Never actually broke a knife, but I've lost my share, or they've gone missing. Okay, but always have some type of. This is just a little Kershaw, nice and sharp drop point, little drop point Tanto combo. But a little bit of a philosophy for me is Certain knives, I mean, it's a bladed weapon. That's it. It's potentially a bladed weapon. But that being the case, if that's your mindset, again, don't just carry it. Don't just have it. Don't just collect it. Stick it in your pocket. Stick it in your pants. Appendix carry it. Pocket carry it. Whatever. And then think that all of a sudden, in the event that you need to use it, you will know how. You won't. You won't. Okay. So practice, practice, practice. But also, I would suggest that if you have your everyday knife, your little folder, and I use this to open mail. I use it to open packages, cut cardboard, tape. 550 cord. So that's kind of a work tool. All right. So your folder I kind of keep as a work tool. If I were to carry fixed blade, that's a different story, right? Fixed blade is a fixed blade. You keep it sharp. You keep it for work. Okay. So got my share of an assortment of fixed blades here. One that I kind of like, and again, I mean, it can go from extremely expensive, and it's all user preference, extremely expensive to moderate. And got to be honest, I stick more to the moderate side on account of when I say lost, I don't mean like I set it down in a public restroom and I left it there. I don't mean it like that. But, sometimes over the years, they do go missing. They end up in a gearbox somewhere. You do a house renovation and you pack your stuff and you put it in storage and that kind of thing. But your key gear, your A-line items gear, they should be close to you. So this little guy, right, it came with a Kydex clip that was bigger. So I replaced the Kydex clip with a little pocket clip, which is kind of nice. So it'll sit inside the front pocket of your jeans, and decent drop point blade, short, right? Nice grippy handle, and it'll do what you need it to do. So one of my favorite fixed blades. All right. Ashamed to say it, my cheaters, I find myself stashing those more and more in inconspicuous places just in case I need them. Otherwise, and I'm not that far along yet, but if I had to read something for you, I'd probably be doing this, right? So cheaters are not a bad thing to have either. You put those anywhere. Primarily, first and foremost, I neglected to mention this, my rosary, all right? This is cool. I've got, I'm a Catholic. Probably a better Christian than I am a Catholic, but we each make our own decisions. But I look at my religion like I look at my patriotism, right? Are there things wrong with the church? There are. There are things wrong with our country? There are. But if you look at it, every one of those things that's wrong with either church or country, it stemmed from a human element, right? There was a person behind that divergence off the path. Okay, that's up to you and me to get it back there. It's up to you to stay on that course, right? Stay on the path. Okay, so me personally, I've got rosary beads with me because if you don't think, regardless of your religious beliefs, if you don't think that you're under some type of spiritual attack 24/7, or that you're vulnerable to spiritual attack 24/7, it's not funny. And I keep saying this, right? I'm not making light of this. Right, but everybody wants the cool weapon. Everybody wants the cool. Hey, did you see the new Sig? Did you see the new Glock? Did you see the new Macazzo? All right, but here's the thing, right? Edged weapon. Do you have fixed or do you have folding? How about this? Before you think about getting into physical combat, all right, you better protect yourself from spiritual warfare because, brother, it's out there. All right, so rosary beads, they're not trinkets. All right, it's a tool. It's a weapon, and it's a strong weapon. All right. For me personally, this is very special to me because my middle daughter, Emily, was going through some of my mother's effects yesterday. And she found a small clear Ziploc bag inside one of my mom's old jewelry boxes with some of my dad's effects in it. And this was among them. All right. So these are my father's rosary beads. I couldn't tell you, or a set of them. Couldn't tell you how old they are. All right, may go all the way back to having been with him in Korea, may go all the way back to having been with him as a city of Pittsburgh police officer, but really glad that we found those. My daughter found those, and so I added that to my arsenal, right? But usually, always have them always have them on, all right, in a pocket close by. So, got this gear or some combination of it if I'm wearing jeans, if I'm wearing cargo pants, if I'm wearing cargo shorts, all right? If I'm in PT gear, if I'm in light, gym shorts, something like that, that's not conducive to carry, I would go to something like this: quick run to the grocery store, quick run wherever you take a quick run. The Osprey Daylight, all right, it's a decent like satchel pack. You throw it over the front is preferable because then you can access everything right there. If you had to sling it around and over your back, you do that too. You just have to pull it around to get to it. So it has got a front pocket. Largely in the front pocket, it's empty now, but in the front pocket I would keep my wallet, and yes, which I also have every day, right? Wallet, phone, a phone in the front pocket. I mean, that's fine. That's fine depending on your comfort level with the shorts you're wearing. But like I said, with these Born Primitive shorts, pocket's perfect for an iPhone, or you could keep it here. All right, interior pocket. And it's a very simple bag. Not a lot to it. Interior. All right, in here, I've got Glock 6 Hour 365 XL, okay? Running a SIG Romeo 0 red dot on it. Love it. It's nice, it's compact. I do not have an extended magazine in here. I have the original factory mag, 12 round. Brings up another talking point, and I do get this a lot. Hey, when do you carry? When do you carry? When do you carry? When is your auto insurance active? When is your homeowner's insurance active? When is your health insurance active? Hopefully all the time, right? So when do you carry? At the risk of sounding paranoid, most all of the time. And I don't say most all of the time. I probably said that just to be, all the time. And some variation or other, all right, all the time. So the big deal for me is this, though, all right? Next question: what condition do you carry the weapon in? Do you carry around in the chamber? And that is also a very good question, especially for someone who's like learning the craft. Okay, what configuration, what condition is your weapon in? So here's my simple rule of thumb, very, very simple. If I've got this pistol holstered, attached directly to me, whether it's appendix carry, whether it's inside the waistband, outside the waistband, on the hip, whatever, if it's attached to me, there's a round in the chamber. All right. If it is removed from me, from my body, by 1 degree, that would be in a satchel, in a fanny pack. That would depend on condition, wouldn't it? That would depend on condition. Where am I going? If this is just an extension, then in that moment where I decide to throw this on and go into a shopping mall or something like that, then yeah, boom, boom, right? Round in the chamber, because it's still at that moment attached to me. If the bag is not attached to me, then I'm going to clear that weapon. I'm going to have a loaded magazine inserted safely in the bag. So now, by that 1 degree of separation, right, it's as safe as it needs to be in that moment. What else? A couple spare magazines for the pistola. The spare mags, I do have the extenders to go to a 15 round capacity. So original 12 in the pistol, and then the 2 spare magazines with the extenders to make them 15s. All right, so I got those in here. And at the very bottom of the bag, I've got a spare battery for the optic, because you never know. The Sig Sauer optics, I do like them. Right? I do like them. The Romeo Zero, the Romeo Pro. They do have a technology, shake awake. All right, so you want to be mindful of that, because that means every time you jostle that weapon, so you pick up your bag, you throw it over your shoulder, That means that that red dot awakens. All right, and they do have really good battery life, really good. But at the same time, you keep moving that. Again, you don't want to, and you should have worked that pistol and that optic over and over and over to the point that if the optic is battery's dead, well, it shouldn't be battery. You should know that. But if it did, I at one point had an EOTech. When I was working GRS, I had an EOTech that got. I don't know how it broke, but the only thing I do know is this: it was during a mission, and I wasn't looking through it at the time because I'm still here talking to you. But the lens was fragged out, right? Shot out, fragged out. Lens was gone, and believe it or not, the red dot still worked. Okay, but it hadn't. There's a malfunction, and you can see through the glass, but you can't pick up the red dot. You should still be able to pick up your front sight and engage. But regardless, spare battery never hurts. It's out of the way. Also, because there's enough room, I got my Black Point Tactical, right? I got my Black Point Tactical in here because in case, right? In case a scenario evolves that it'd be better for me to put this on my hip. Spare magazines are in a mag pouch, right? Dual mag pouch that I could also don, if I had to. You're not going to do that in the midst of, oh crap, it's happening now, but in a tactical pause, if you needed to put these from the bag on, you have them, and they're super convenient, right? Also, Lite, right? Streamlight pen light. These things are awesome. They're durable. They last forever. And something else too, if you can see this, it's compartmentalized. All right, so your spare mags like so, pistol like so, light like so. I mean, you shouldn't reach in like to like it's grandma's purse, right? And you got like butterscotch candy all around there with like other stuff. Okay, this should be simple, very very simple. Got a compression bandage, right? Sealed, ready to go. Compression bandage, good for everything, and a rat's tourniquet. All right, rat's tourniquet. Bag's open, Ziploc is sealed. That thing will tear right open. And the rat's tourniquet, if you haven't seen it, this is the stuff, man. This is the stuff. It is slick. It is super easy, and it's virtually foolproof. All right. I've carried other larger. I can't see my tactical gear from here, but I've carried larger tourniquets in med kits and blowout kits on my rig over the years. But the rat's tourniquet is compact, very very user friendly, and we'll hit another maybe how-to shorty video on that at some point. But that is what I would consider my A-line gear, my everyday gear, my always have gear. And it's pretty easy to configure this stuff, but just think it through. Think it through. I mean, don't want to get all philosophical on you, but on the one hand, less is more. On the other hand, you need what you need. There's certainly a minimum. So let's, like I said before, without this, out of the house, jeans, cargo pants, cargo shorts, right? I'm gonna have my phone. I'm gonna have my rosary beads go without saying, right? I'm gonna have my spiritual warfare right there with me. I'm gonna have my wallet. I don't know, any old school Catholics might remember this when you're really little and you're learning how to give your sign of the spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch, right? I told my little boy that when he was just a kid. He laughed his ass off. But your A-line gear, right? Got my wallet. Oh, got my watch. I don't know, most people today don't wear watches because you got your phone attached to you all the time, and there's the time, there's the calendar, there's the date. But should anything happen at all that disables that technology, a watch is pretty fundamental. All right, so apologies, I neglected that. Watch. Spectacles. Yeah, my cheaters. Most of you probably too young to need those, but you'll get there. And nice, compact. Put them on when you need them. But so rosary, watch, phone, wallet, pistola, right? Folding blade for every day. Folding blade for every day, and it's a tool, right? The folder is a tool. Okay, fixed blade if you wanted to, escalate that a bit, elevate that a bit, and spare mags. Sometimes, have I gone light without spares? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But you also want to think about this too, okay? And I believe this. You can go light, and light should be avoidance of contact. Avoidance of contact. You don't necessarily carry spare magazines because you think you're going to get into a protracted gunfight. You carry a spare magazine or two in case you have a malfunction, right? In the event that you have to go, and I hate to say this, but it is the world we live in, right? I've thought about this ever since I had children, ever since I had a wife, right? Ever since I can't remember when I didn't. I never, ever want to be that person in a scenario where there's an active shooter, a movie theater, restaurant, place of worship, and it happens. Unfortunately, it happens, right? I never want to be that person in one of those scenarios where the only defense I have for my loved ones or the people around me is the hope that I could knock them to the floor, throw myself on top of them, and hope that hope is not a strategy, right? And so you knock them to the floor, you cover them with yourself, and hope that they pass you by. Oh, no, I that's not in the cards. All right, so it's but above all else, no matter how much, how little you choose, just make sure you're good with it. Make sure you are proficient with it. I made a comment the other day, and I didn't mean this against the young person in question, but by now probably all of you have seen the travesty of the video of the attempted assassination of a former U.S. president, right? I personally don't care what side of the aisle you sit on. I don't care. All right? It's an attempted assassination of a former U.S. president, right? Like him or not, things like this happen. That we are not a third world banana republic, all right? You don't like the opposition? I'll send a goon squad out there to eliminate them, right? Eliminate their entire line so they can't run against you again. That's not us. That's not us. If you think it is, you're part of the problem, okay? So, seriously, right? You got that one young person, Secret Service, and it looks like a deer in the headlights, pulls her pistol. Looked to me like she pulled it because she didn't know what else to do, and somebody might have told her to, and then she was realizing, like, or she just did it out of not knowing what else to do, and in that moment it was time to holster it. Poor thing couldn't find the holster. Okay, so that's not the place to be in. If you carry a weapon on a day-to-day, you need to get to it, know where it is, feel it. It needs to become a part of you, like I got one for you. Look at everybody nowadays out in public. 99% of our population has their face buried in their phone. And I'll tell you what, they use those phones like a Jedi Master uses his lightsaber, right? That's how intimately familiar you need to be with a weapon if you intend to carry one, right? Anytime, any way. Daylight, nighttime, on my feet, on my back, upside down, underwater. I need to be able to find that weapon, deploy that weapon, and then holster that weapon in any of those scenarios I just described. If not, then you shouldn't be carrying one. You should leave it in the box, locked up with no ammunition, maybe take it to the range once in a while. All right? Okay, listen. Kids' class is getting ready to go upstairs. CrossFit 9 a.m. is ready to go downstairs. So that's all I've got for you today. This was supposed to be short, but I don't do short, I guess. So again, a little bit of a mash about, everyday carry, right? Whether it's on your person or your quick go-to. And like I said, I just kind of like the over-the-shoulder, a little bit better variation. Now, just as a caveat, I do go to fanny pack. This is fine too for that, but if I'm out on a ruck, or my wife and I, every so often, a couple times a year, we'll do like a 50-mile ruck or a 100-mile ruck over the course of a month to benefit veteran services, right? And sometimes you're out there literally in the wee hours of the morning, 0 dark 30, if you will, and you know, you're burdened with a ruck. You're out there, you're getting after it, and it's pitch dark, and that's when the vampires come out, right? So fanny pack, for me personally, fanny pack's a good option. You know, stick my little Glock 43X in there, right? Surefire light, and you know, you're ready to go. Quick deployment, and it doesn't impede your ruck. All right. So anyway, if you're going to do it right. Think it through and practice, 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 practice. I can't say that enough. All right. All right. You have a great weekend, and we'll do a little bit deeper dive on this sometime in the near future. We'll go up to like the next level, like a backpack configuration, right? All right. Have a good one.